Welcome back to the Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. Last time, we defeated Maleficar's Death Dealers for the final time. Now, nothing stands between us and the Fell Dragon Grima. Actually, that's not an entirely true statement. So the next main story chapter, as you can probably tell from what just happened on the save screen, is the Fell Dragon Grima himself. This chapter is the final one. Once you head to this chapter, well, you can actually go back to the preparation screen, back here from the preparation screen, but once you go here, this is it. This is the final battle of the game, and when you beat this chapter, you basically, roll the credits, and any levels that you gained in the final chapter itself, any items that you gained, will not carry over. So, taking this on as early as possible, I won't actually gain anything from it. Now, normally, there isn't anything else left to do in the game. If you look at the map, you'll see that every single spot on the map is white. No more paralogs, no more main chapters, apart from the Outrealm Gate, but that's DLC. Just Grima. Or not. If we go to Wireless and go to Bonus Box, and go to Bonus Maps, here we have 6 extra paralogs to add to the game. These paralogs were not in the game originally. Basically, they got periodically released as Spot Pass downloads for the first few months after the game was released, but since this game's been out for well over a year now, all of them should be available to anyone who just connects to the internet via Spot Pass. Now, none of these maps cost any money to download. These are essentially free DLC. Completely free, so the only thing you need to download these is Spot Pass access, which basically just means internet access. So just connect your 3DS to the internet, go to Bonus Box, and you will have, assuming that you're playing the game now, you will have all of these. They will be available until Nintendo shuts down its Wi-Fi servers for the 3DS, which hopefully is not for a very, very long time. So those of you who have this game, you might want to download these now. Now, technically, you can actually download these paralogs immediately. As in, like, right from the start of the game. The moment you have access to the bonus box, you can download these. However, you can't actually access these paralogs until after you beat the chapter that I just did, Chapter 25, to slay a god. It's a good thing that's the case, because these chapters are roughly on par with difficulty of that chapter. In fact, a few of the later ones might be harder than the final chapter in terms of difficulty, arguably. So let's go ahead and add all of them to the world map. These paralogs show up as orange on the map rather than green, indicating that they're the special Spot Pass ones. So, we'll add all of these to the map, and since we can access the entire world map, we have access to all of their locations now. You'll see that a lot of them show up in Valm, because Valm looked very, very empty before these downloads, so you'll notice that pretty much the entire coast of Valm now has some of these on it, and there are a couple of them back on Yllis as well, and one between the two continents. So the first of these paralogs that we'll be taking on is the one at the Sea King's throne, Paralog 18. Each of these paralogs has something very special waiting for us, but you'll find that out in a moment. First, well, Gregor and Lonku have another support, and we've got all of the other supports that we unlocked from the last chapter. Sadly, we didn't get to a Basilica and Flavia, and weirdly enough, I didn't get any extra supports between Ricken, Brady, Yarn. That's annoying. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this one. Lonku is that desperate for a duel with him.
Gregor is on job. Right.
Yeah, considering they're both married now.
Predictable. What? Eh?
Wow.
Yes. Nonsense.
Longku has much higher speed than you do.
What?
Yet another case of supports not exactly reflecting gameplay. That's interesting, yeah. Gregor is, he's had a lot of combat, and so he has a ton of experience. You do not want to mess with Gregor. That's part of why I wanted to get those supports. In fact, Gregor in general is really interesting. A lot of his supports reveal some really interesting backstory about him, particularly his supports with Tharia and with Shursh. They reveal some really unique things about him that you probably would have expected. Anyway, speaking of Shursh, let's get her with,
if I may,
support General a bit, though I doubt he'll snap out of his angsty loner attitude anytime soon.
What?
oh, well,
He's almost acting like Severa here, maybe he has the same reason. Minerva.
huh. No, no.
I never got him any lance ranks at all.
Pathetic.
And those skills are probably taught to him by Shursh, but yeah, Jerome's all angsty about the fact that
Really?
he can't consider himself strong because in the future everyone basically died. And I guess he does know about the power of friendship a little bit.
Yes.
So he's opening up a bit, and speaking of him opening up a bit, let's see his B with Lucina.
You there.
Like most of these, this one's actually quite short.
What?
No, wait.
What?
So, in the future, Mary Sue has had pendants carved in the likeness of her. Of course she'd do something like that.
Well,
You there.
Oh, I can really relate to this. This happens to me all the time.
huh?
Yes.
I've, spent ages trying to find my DSs this way.
You have my gratitude.
And, yeah, that's basically the support. But at least Jerome's actually helping someone, which is kind of rare. Oh, yeah, you might notice the Batarang 2.0 that I forged for him. That's all the supports we can do, but I get the feeling we're going to need to grind quite a lot before we take on this chapter, because the enemies here are fairly strong, so I might do lots of off-camera training, so I'll see you back here in quite a while for me. Okay, so lots of training later, and I'll just briefly show off the results of that. Everyone is pretty much level 14 to 15, also Cordelia learned this skill. Yeah, you'll be seeing that, yeah, I'll be using that quite a lot. Yeah, just showing. Okay, you're the same. I got pretty much everyone leveled up to at least 14, basically. Sully's leveled up a lot. Got Callum and Tharia a few levels. Gaius, he leveled up an insane amount. And, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Everyone's around level 14, so... Also, I got a few more supports. I guess I could show some of these, since this next chapter actually isn't all that long.
Excuse me.
So, Lawrence and Muriel A.
What?
Simply put,
Substances that, burn in particular colors. Wait a minute, detonated in mid-air, a dazzling display of
Hold
color.
on a moment.
Yeah, this sounds like something that we know in our real world.
Right.
So finally, Lawrence is learning to focus on, or at least to acknowledge things that don't have practical uses, but have emotional uses.
indeed.
Well, I feel edified.
My thanks.
So, basically, Muriel and Laurent invented fireworks. This one's an S support, so I'll save that for last. I really should have unlocked this after the Maleficar chapter, but needed a little bit more.
What?
Something that I didn't really mention before is I do actually know about Morgan and Nar's supports, and I have heard that they are quite good, and it is generally one of the most liked pairings for Nar besides Yarn. So that's good. Of course, I have a totally different interpretation of Gary Stu's intentions, but anyway. At least you get to see these.
So...
Have you never seen anyone pray before?
Huh?
This conversation is a little awkward after we've just learned that Naga isn't a god and doesn't like being referred to as a god. So, yeah, this is kind of funny. About that, yeah.
I see.
Yay.
What?
Hence the whole Naga's voice thing, I guess. I think Tiki must be the one, well, being Naga's daughter, Tiki probably hears Naga's voice most clearly. Probably some variant of, please stop worshipping me, it's getting really annoying.
So...
Well, who isn't?
Nope.
I see.
Wow.
Or it's Naga's way of saying, I'm not capable of performing divine intervention because I'm not a god. So yeah, another support that gets really awkward after certain story revelations. But anyway, this one's probably not going to be awkward. I never expected the first S support between second generation characters to be these two, but in a way it is fitting. And it begins with, yeah, Brady getting injured again.
Are you alright? What?
Put out!
Huh?
Finally, Noir isn't injured. Makes sense seeing as how tanky she is now.
Hey!
Well...
Huh?
She likes being injured, I guess it gives her more fuel for vengeance damage.
I see.
Oh, she likes it for a different reason. But yeah, that could have been taken the wrong way.
Yes. Huh?
No kidding.
What?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, hopefully you see why I like that pairing so much. You get a bit of character development for the both of them. They're both very similar in a lot of ways, and they have a lot of connections. It's implied they've been in, they've ended up in the infirmary together since they were kids, so I just really like that. That is my second favourite second-generation pairing after Yarn and Na. In fact, I just realised that Noir doesn't even go into her, her split personality at all during that conversation. During that entire support line, which I like that too. But anyway, it's time to head into Paralogue 18. We're at the Sea King's throne, but take a look where we are on the map. Now, I'm pretty sure this is where Groost was back in Marth's days. That's going to be significant once we actually get inside here.
Hey.
We open this chapter with yet another reused portrait of this guy. Trust me on this is the last time we'll be seeing this portrait. This is the last member of the generic bandit, quadruplets, I think, by this point. But he is the strongest of all of them. This guy's basically the, one of the very rare Fire Emblem bandits who actually make it big. He's a king among bandits, in this case pirates, though.
Huh? What? Really? Ah. Yes.
I think Chrom's going to find a lot more than he bargained for here. We're fighting against the pirates of the Southern Sea King, and as you can tell, they're very, very strong. Look at those HP stats and those strength stats. Now, this chapter has an absolute ton of axe users and very, very few lance users, so it's basically a swordsman's paradise, so I'm going to be bringing a lot of sword users here. Of course, there are still a couple of assassins, sages, snipers with longbows, a village, wyvern lords, and these ones with lances are some of the very few lance users in this entire chapter. So that's why I'd say it's mostly a paradise for sword users. More longbow snipers, more wyvern lords. The boss here, Xanth, the latest in a long line of Southern Sea Kings. Is Southern spelt wrong there? Interesting. But his stats are pretty good. He's got Axe Fair and Wrath. But I think the elephant in the room is this guy right here. Thought we'd see the last of the Mad King. We haven't. He's back, and, well, his stats have got a lot higher than they were last time. Also, this description right here. The cruel and fatalistic former King of Plegia. This right here is why I was telling you all the way back in Chapter 9, do not press Gangrel's name when you see him on the map there, because for some reason, they messed up and gave him this description instead of his one that was appropriate for that point in the story. So it would have called him the former King of Plegia rather than the current King of Plegia, spoiling what happened later in the plot, i.e. now. So that's annoying. But anyway, Gangrel is all the way over there though, so we won't have to worry about him just yet. One thing that I will point out about this map for now though is, if you're a long-time Fire Emblem player, this map might be familiar to you. This map is the same one from Chapter 1 of Mystery of the Emblem, the Groostian Expedition. In fact, I've got a video of New Mystery of the Emblem on my channel, I mean a whole playthrough, so if you want to see what the map looked like back there, you can go ahead and check that. Lol, shameless plugging my own things. Just be aware my microphone quality was horrible back then. But But anyway, it is a lot bigger than it was originally. Much more tiles here. This beach area originally was much, much smaller. And this pass here, oh, it's pretty much as thin as it used to be. The village where we recruited militia is still here. Wow, after thousands of years that village is still here. That's amazing. As is this castle. This used to be a major castle of the Grustian royalty, but now it's being used by bandits. What must have happened to Grust in these years now that I think about it? Considering that Arcadia basically... Not Arcadia. Altea basically turned into Plegia. Anyway, though, that's all I'll say here. Wait a minute, that's almost all I'll say here. According to developer interviews, this was actually the first map that they ever made for this game. Makes a lot of sense, because when you've got a new engine, it makes sense to test it out by recreating an old map. Anyway, let's go ahead and select our characters. I actually want to bring Libra for healing here. I did get him up to an A in style, so we can finally use Fortify now. The Vake is a bit lower level. I kind of want the Severa here. Basically, I'm going to fill my party with as many sword users as I can. If I can find them. Where is the Severa? There she is. Okay, so... Actually, I'm going to bring Shell, and I am going to bring Gary Stu, as well. Because he needs some levels. Nah, should I bring her? Yeah, you know what? I'll bring her because I want to bring Donnell here because, again, sword users. Muriel I'll bring as a pair-up partner for Libra, and because she's a little bit low-leveled. Gonna go ahead and bring her Wayne because, again, sword users. Another sword user. Don't need Lawrence. Don't need Stahl. We're gonna bring as many swordsmen as we can, so I kind of want Lucina here just to get her a bit more experience in her new class. Jerome, definitely want Longku. Where is Gregor? There he is. Might as well get their support up a little bit more. And one more choice for deployment. Oh, of course, we need Mary Sue. Of course we do. There is a major reason I'm bringing Mary Sue here, but you'll find that out later. For now, though, the Severa is going to go... Yeah, the thing is, it's actually, Okay, so Jerome goes over here, Lucina's back there. Like putting Longku there. And I'm fine with Libra hanging back. Should I? You know what, I'll send Shell there. And pretty much that's all we need to do, except for one thing. Libra, I'm giving you a Fortify Staff. There are not very many magic users in this chapter, so... Wait, seriously? The only Fortify Staff I have left only has one use? We might really need Fortify here, though, so I'm gonna go ahead and... Actually, it might be a good idea to hammer and staff that, but you can't really hammer and staff your own thing. I have 5 of those, by the way. They only have 1 use each, though. In this case, it might be best just to grab myself a... I might as well take that Fortify just in case of emergencies. And swap that Mend for a Recover. Because right now, we really need Recover Staves. Anyway, let's go. No extra cutscenes, so let's just go ahead and make a save point here. Okay, let's start this by going for some pair-ups and at least attempting to clear out the initial enemies here. Fortunately, Severa isn't doubling these guys. I think she did in my practice run, which is really annoying. Slight random stat variances. And... no crit and dual strike missed. That is even more annoying. Now, you want to be careful of these Wyvern Riders. They're the only lance users on the map, so your barrage of sword users is definitely threatened by them. Of course, what's also threatening is these really, really annoying bow users. But at least the axe users are very little threat to Lucina here. And she still ethers like crazy. No thanks to Rightful King.
Good.
Which, yeah, it seems really weird, Lucina having Rightful King despite being a girl. In the Japanese version, Rightful King, I've mentioned this before, was just called Royal Weapon, so it was gender neutral. I really wish they kept that because it sounds... I know that they were trying to reference the fact that only Chrom's sons inherited from Chrom, but even then, it still doesn't make much sense considering that Lucina gets it.
You're no warrior.
Well, of course not, he was a berserker. Had to do that at least once. Yeah, with Arms Thrift, that glass axe pretty much never breaks, but I'll go for a weapon triangle advantage anyway, just in case. Donnie's pretty much invincible, I just want to see how high his stats can go, really. I just want to see how many green glowing numbers that he'll have in his stats by the end of this playthrough. Hopefully a lot. And Wayne doesn't have any rallies. Might as well go here then. Now I'm actually not pairing up Merisu with Chrom, at least not yet. And the reason for that will become apparent eventually. I also want Chrom to go around this end of the map because he needs to be as far into the map as possible because there's something that I'm going to need to do with him eventually. Also, you'll notice that Merisu doesn't have a pair-up partner here. The way that the deployment slots are laid out, one person is going to be left out of a pair-up partner here. Oh, if you are going for Severa, that is worrying. That means the enemies are most likely trying to gang up on her and kill her. But at least you don't have much of a hit rate, and yeah. As you can see, Severa doubles this guy, but she doesn't double the other one. Vake, what is up with you missing?
Glory hog.
These guys are not meant to have much evasion. But that is a lot of evasion. Yeah, I wanted at least one person to go for Lucina here. Hopefully she gets an ether and kills this guy, and she didn't. Jerome just broke one of his weapons, didn't he? I used a whole lot of his weapons during training, so... especially the Volant Axe, because I had a skirmish that was almost entirely Falcon Knights, so that's why I was sort of spamming that.
Right behind you.
Yeah, gotta hope that this is, I think, the only sage that can attack her now, but I do have to watch out for the snipers because, well, they're going for a Wayne anyway. Glad they're spreading around because in my previous attempt of this, they all ganged up on Lucina and killed her, so that gets really annoying.
Keep it together.
Yeah, speaking of getting really annoying, both the assassins went for Lucina. Kind of funny considering that she automatically dual-guarded an assassin in a scripted battle earlier on in the game. I still find it funny how that assassin is, if Chrom's properly trained, that assassin is absolutely no threat to him at all, so it doesn't make much sense that Lucina would have to run in and save him. Anyway, so enemies here won't move until you get into their range, which is very good because these enemies are quite strong. We really want to take them out at our leisure. And yes, I'm Australian, I say leisure that way instead of leisure. In fact, I find leisure really, really weird sounding. Lots of volcanic eruptions. Speaking of weird sounding though, this music, I really don't think this music is appropriate for this chapter. It just sounds kind of... Yeah, one thing that does annoy me about this game's music is that basically... Okay, gotta watch out for those wyverns, especially the ones that have Swordbreaker. Also especially, seeing as I just used up the turn of my only healer. Jerome should be able to do well against those wyvern riders though. More like Enter the Severa.
I was almost scared.
Oh, I hate it when the experience bar stops at 99. Anyway, I suppose I could go here and either break my old Batarang or switch to the new one. Well, kind of hoping for a Lucina Dual Strike here. And I got it! And it... 1 HP, really? I shouldn't really be complaining. These guys have a lot of HP, and Lucina's speed is way too low, I think. Yeah, why is her speed lower than her skill and luck? That's kind of strange. Okay, we'll need to get rid of you, otherwise you're going to shoot Jerome. But we do have to be careful of these enemies, and we really want to lock in your range there. Because the unfortunate thing is, it's impossible to provoke these guys without also provoking Gangrel, and provoking Gangrel is not a good thing, because, well, you'll see. It's annoying, basically. Let's see if I can just take you out.
All right.
I wonder if I could provoke Gangrel separately to the rest of them. Okay, Sage is gone. That's at least part of this down. Actually, Donnie could go for the Glass Axe here to avoid Swordbreaker from those Wyverns. And Useless Soul. Seems to be a running theme with the characters who have it. And this will get Donnie's Axe rank up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did lose one use of the Glass Axe, unfortunately. Longku's 1 level lower than Owain, so I guess I'll have him. But Gregor's even lower. Gregor, just go and get some extra axe experience. You're almost at a D rank. And another Useless Soul, like I said, a running theme of the characters who have that skill. At least Longku's dual striking more thanks to the higher support rank. And yeah, Shell needs the experience more, so I'll attack with her. And that just saves a weapon use, or a weapon use for Owain. And victory is definitely hers. And that just leaves Mary Sue, so she'll advance with the rest of us. Well, advance into rallying range. Rally Spectrum is a really useful skill. And yes, I am using the Batarang 2.0. Might be a little overkill for these enemies, but I mean, they are massively higher level than us. I'm basically very, very underleveled for this point in the game, but I don't really care. Pair-up bonuses generally negate any level disadvantages you can have, really, so... Again, I almost feel that the only way for me to keep it even at this point is to be underleveled. I definitely don't want to be underleveled for the final Spot Pass Paralog, because that one sounds really bad, and Lancebreaker. Not really that useful for the Griffin Rider class in itself, because they'll always have weapon triangle advantage over Lances anyway, but when you're reclassing to other classes, Lancebreaker is quite good. Deliver is really good too. What do I get rid of? You know, I don't really need Strength plus 2. Those are generally the skills that I get rid of earliest, because later on in the game, those just random stat plus something skills just don't really cut it. And Wormsbane.
I owe you.
And please tell me that I wasn't unlucky enough to have that Glass Axe break. Typical level up for Donnie. And I wasn't.
I'm right here.
So yeah, this was definitely a better idea than attacking these enemies with Lucina, which I did last time and I horribly regretted it. So yeah, that's Swordbreaker working. Lancebreaker though, yeah. I just realized that Swordbreaker protecting Wyvern Riders from most Wyvern effective weapons are swords, so Swordbreaker protects Wyvern Riders from that. Lancebreaker protects Griffin Riders from the Beast Killer Lance, which that's one really good thing about it, and pretty much the main use it has for Griffin Riders, but it's a great skill to get on Targwell as well. That is, if Yarn's father has the Wyvern Rider branch, because for some reason, Parn herself can't pass down the... It's really... I don't know why they did that. It's really stupid. Okay, if I provoke Gangrel, I provoke those two Berserkers as well. So, my plan here is... Firstly, I'm going to visit this village.
Hail, traveler.
So, hey, I remember you from 2,000 years ago. Seraph, wait. We're gonna make them pay for what they've done by throwing a Seraph robe on them. That... I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. Okay, now Gangrel's always going to attack from range if he has the option, so I'm going to move Chrom here, and that should hopefully take out those two Berserkers, and everyone else... See, this is the problem. All of these guys are going to rush at us, and I'm going to need to be ready for that, but I'm also going to need to be ready to box Gangrel in when I have the chance. You know what? High movement, I can afford to go here. Now, something I really like about the placement of this event tile right here. In the original Mystery of the Emblem, Chapter 1, there was a cave around here that if you had a unit wait on the cave, you'd find a hidden item. That's pretty much exactly what event tiles are, so it's a really nice reference putting an event tile here. I guess Owain knows a lot more about her armor now. Just gonna get back a bit. Yeah, these mountains are classed as peaks as well, so only... Well, I don't think that bandits can even walk on mountains anymore, so nothing can step on them except flying units. That's why they have no terrain stats at all. So that's interesting. Need to keep Libra kind of away. Anyone injured? Anyone injured? Doesn't look like it. Again, we're getting ready, and Mary Sue should just stay back a bit. Okay, so clear out a few of these guys, but the real challenge is still to... And I can't double them. Well, doubling these guys is really important because they have freaking enormous amounts of HP.
I've got your back.
How the mighty have fallen. Gangrel's even lost his old battle theme. He's just treated like a generic enemy. But speaking of Gangrel, herein lies the real problem of this chapter. We're gonna have to avoid killing Gangrel, and he just absolutely loves to get himself killed here. For once, though, that's actually perfectly in character, but it's still really, really irritating. So, step 1. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, equip a 1 to 2 ranged weapon while in range of Gangrel, because then you will provoke him into attacking from range and you'll be able to counterattack and he will die. Don't do that. That is very, very bad. What I'm going to do is have Donnie go over here and attack with a 1 range weapon to make sure that 1, he can easily tank almost every one of these enemies, and 2, he can't accidentally kill Gangrel. As you can see, Gangrel would easily die if he picked a fight with Donnie, so... Yeah. What we want to do here is... Chrom can talk to him. Let's go up there and do that.
Wait!
Well, that was pretty boring. Surely that can't be the end of what we have to do in this chapter, and indeed it isn't, but we're gonna have to wait another turn before we get another chance, so that's where things get annoying. We do basically have to survive this turn, and, well, the harder part is, Gangrel has to survive the turn. Oh yeah, other thing about Gangrel is, I thought he had... No, he doesn't have pass, actually. It's just that there's a big wide avenue of attack available. I kind of want to make the enemies fan out, though. That would really help. But I also don't want to make sure that Gangrel... I want to make sure Gangrel doesn't kill anyone, though. Okay. Yeah, see, here's where things get kind of tricky. Again, make sure that you never, under any circumstances, have a 1 to 2 range weapon equipped while in Gangrel's range. Because, yeah, do that and Gangrel will die. Guaranteed. Again, Naga isn't a god. Yeah. Generic conversations, oh well. Jerome is currently equipping a 1 to 2 range weapon. This is very, very bad. And rally time. Okay, let's just hope Gangrel doesn't do anything stupid.
Not on my watch. Flanks exposed.
Not enough.
I've got your
And you're annoying. And you're also annoying.
ready?
But yeah, this is why not equipping 1 to 2 range weapons gets annoying, because you can't kill these guys off on the enemy phase. But trust me, do it. Because if you do equip 1 to 2 range weapons, yeah, it's not worth risking Gangrel dying, so just don't do it. It's really, really not worth it. Yeah, I may have had a practice attempt of this where Gangrel got himself killed, so...
You ready?
And I hate how these enemies manage to bunch themselves up, but it's kind of a feature of this chapter.
Forget it.
Normally I'd like that, but here... Hi, Gangrel!
Teacher's watch. Thank me later.
Good one there, Vake. Yeah, I doubt Severa's actually met... She obviously hasn't. She's probably heard about Gangrel, but she hasn't really known what he was like. Vake does, because Vake's fought against him before, so he has the knowledge to protect her. Speaking of which, I need to pull back. Gangrel, stop running away from us!
Oh? What? Really? That's it?
Like I said, how have the mighty fallen? And he said it himself. That's the kind of burn I wouldn't really expect from Chrom, of all people.
Huh?
Well, last time we met, Chrom did exactly that.
No.
Recruit Gangrel to our side? Could that be possible? Again, Grima is about to destroy the world. There's no reason for Gangrel to be wasting his life here.
Oh? Listen.
Well, we tried. But maybe we could try a little bit harder. Let's go for one more turn.
I'm just getting started.
One more turn of not being able to counterattack 2 range enemies, but it'll hopefully be worth it. Yeah, when I said this was the most annoying thing about this chapter, you're kind of seeing why. And Axebreaker. Need to unequip a skill, though. Avoid +10 when under attack might actually come in handy here. Arms Thrift, you know what? Your luck stat isn't really good enough to be making use of this now, so I'll actually take that off. You generally need really, really high luck to make full use of that skill, so... yeah. Okay, I would like to get rid of one of these sages, but I can't do that without Jerome getting shot, and that's really, really bad. Okay, let's go for some crits on these guys. Again, making sure to attack only using 1 range weapons to make sure that Gangrel doesn't die. Because again, what use is him wasting his life here when it could serve a higher purpose? We're no longer enemies, after all. In fact, he'd probably hate to see what kind of state Pledge he has fallen into now. And if anything, well, despite how completely insane and vengeance-obsessed he was, I'd still call him a better king than Maleficar. Okay, I really am counting on a dual strike here. Otherwise I'm going to have to heal, and that would leave my healer exposed to Gangrel, which is not good.
You have my gratitude.
I'm doing everything I can to prevent Gangrel from stepping down the path of murder he once did. How far can you guys move? Not very far. Should be fine here. Just need to take you out. We're almost there, although there are some Wyvern Riders that are still in this chapter. We'll need to worry about them, but overall this chapter's, again, not that bad apart from this one thing that we're currently trying to do at the moment. Still no cap stats. Just want to check something. Okay, you are doubling, but you're no threat to us. Well, no threat to Libra anyway. And I don't need to lock in your range, seeing as everyone on our side can potentially get hit by you. Are you going to double Chrom, though? I think you're just off of doubling Chrom, actually. Right, man. Okay, yeah, don't equip a 1 to 2 range weapon. I am now immediately going to equip Steel Sword just to make sure that I don't inadvertently kill this guy. The only question here is Lucina in danger? I don't think Chrom is in danger, but Lucina might be. So I'm going to Physics Staff her just in case. 10 HP, that could make all the difference. Now, Gangrel, once again, please don't do anything stupid. Oh, this guy had no chance of hitting her anyway. Holy crap, that's bad. That's much stronger than I expected, and in fact... what are you doing? Why didn't you attack Lonko? Your AI, I'm thankful for it, but your AI is weird today. And I'm also thankful for your weird AI. I just want to check something. Would you have killed Lonku if you had attacked him? No, okay. Right, but yeah, that did sort of worry me. Anyway, one more time.
Wait! Damn you! Listen to me.
Took a lot of persistence, but it worked. Yes, amazingly enough, the former Mad King Gangrel is now on our side. He now fights for us. Click the annotation to see how he can help us. I still remember back when this paralogue was first revealed, how much I basically, and a lot of people in the Fire Emblem community, completely freaked out when they saw this. Gangrel was pretty much the last character I'd expect to be recruitable, and, well, he was. That's pretty amazing. Now, here's the reason why I kept Mary so unoccupied. The really annoying thing about the Spot Pass parallel characters is that they can only support with the avatar. That gets, yeah, really, really irritating. And it means they suffer from a really major lack of character development, which is a shame because...
So long.
Because what little character development Gangrel gets in the post-game is actually really well done. And in particular, I might want to try and show off some of the DLC episodes where... There is one DLC episode where the Spot Pass characters actually get conversations with each other and with other characters. And Gangrel's ones in that, they are, in my opinion, some of my favourite conversations in this game. So, I really want to show off at least some of those. Something also to note is that although Gangrel does not, cannot support with anyone other than the Avatar, he actually does have unique barracks quotes for Chrom, which is actually really nice attention to detail.
How well will you die? I'll make this quick.
I love how if you finish Astra with a critical, you actually get the second, you get another cut in, which is pretty awesome. And well, Lonku's finally caught up to his son, probably not for long though, and learns Sword Fair. This will help his damage a bit. +5 strength when you're equipping a sword, which again for a sword master is always. Though if you're equipping 11 sword, it gives +5 magic. And Shell is still level, well, she is level 14, but she's basically level 15. That has less accuracy than Lances with weapon triangle disadvantage. That's kind of annoying. But at least it'll lower your hit rate, so I'll go for that. Probably should give Shell a sword, seeing as she can actually use them. Useless Luna! But it looks pretty.
Was that all?
And double level up, nice. Yeah, see what I said about Lonku not being equal with his son for long. Shell learned Jewel Guard Plus, which is a very, very useful skill. Increases the trigger rate of Jewel Guards by 10%. That is massive, seeing as that's an extra 10% chance of completely negating an attack. Really useful skill. Now, I have both Indoor Fighter and Outdoor Fighter. Obviously, I'll drop Indoor Fighter because we're currently outdoors. I should have been switching between them throughout this playthrough because, you know, you can't have the benefit of both of them at the same time. Oh hey, the Vake is still kind of low on level. There's nothing left to do but advance towards these Wyvern Riders. So, well, let's just do that, I guess. Okay, you have Swordbreaker, and okay, only one of you has Swordbreaker. Naturally, the Swordbreaker is on the Lance Wyvern. Let's see, who do we want to lure you with? Can we get some Vake time in here? Because Vake is actually lower level than his daughter at the moment. Meanwhile, anybody else need healing? Bit of a waste of a Recover staff, since I think a Mend staff would have healed this much anyway, but Recover does give more experience, so it does get Libra caught up in terms of levels. Guess Gregor should go here since he's also level 14. Again, you generally... Well, I guess Gangrel is level 15 here, so... I guess level 14 to 15 is the level that you're meant to be at this point in the game. Okay, I'm suspicious you guys aren't moving. That is worrying me a lot. And Donnie he can charge into any kind of amount of enemies and still be completely fine, so I don't really care about what happens with him. Don't want to expose Lucina to the Swordbreaker enemies, though, especially the ones with the Lancers, because she's actually kind of... Yeah, that's actually quite fragile in terms of defense. Jerome's defense could be better too, but at least he has the weapon triangle advantage against most of these guys. In fact, I could head in and try and snipe kill one of them now, and you have 0 chance of hitting.
Allow me.
That is mine.
If the Parallel Falchion does that much damage to Wyvern Lords, I haven't even tried the Exalted Falchion on them. That's going to do... The Exalted Falchion, I don't know if I've shown this before, 15 might, so that's tripled against dragon enemies, so... Yeah, that'd be 45 might. That's insane. In addition to Chrom's strength. That's pretty amazing. Okay, I'm going to try and lure some of these enemies with Shell here. I don't want the Vake to get too far into these enemy ranges just yet, and I'll have Gregor equip an axe just so I don't have to deal with Swordbreaker. Okay, if Gangrel's only dealing with one Wyvern Rider, he should be fine. It would be a shame to get Gangrel killed off in the chapter he joins, after all. And now you're moving! Great.
Stand tall.
That's a lot of damage, though. Ow.
Weak. Too slow.
Yeah, even Lonku with his relatively low strength is still doing more damage than Gregor with bronze axes. That is why I hate bronze weapons. And yes, I'm still equipping the Tomahawk, that's good.
Move. Over here.
Thank you, Severa.
Thanks.
And the Vake is thankful too. Now, in some ways, I'm almost hoping to not take this guy out because there are other members of my army who need more experience. But we're going to take him out anyway because Luna. Double Luna. It's about this point that the second generation characters start getting ridiculous. And if Shell is Chrom's daughter, she gets Ether as well. Then again, I still personally think that, aside from generic Maiden Lucina, I still think that Shell is probably the weakest of Chrom's potential children, just because it's the only Chrom pairing that doesn't pass doesn't pass Gale Force is what I meant, which is a pretty big deal.
Together. Now.
Another enemy for Jerome. Of course, once he maxes out Griffin Rider, I can switch him back to Wyvern Lord and have him be back with Minerva again. Yeah, compared to you, these guys are pretty much pathetic. And speaking of pathetic, this guy's gone too. Now I almost wish I had a Lucina attack some of these guys. But another one down anyway. Yeah, and that would be only 2 of them left, so... Yeah, this chapter went by fairly quickly. Let's see, who needs it the most? I guess technically Gregor does, but the Vake has better access to dealing the final blow here, so I'll go for the Vake.
Let's go.
Gregor's had a lot of screen time lately anyway. That hurts, but the Vake can handle it.
Anyone else?
Want to see how he's doing compared to Basilio now. Basilio's strength is a lot better, but Vake might have better skill. And hey, the Vake finally learned this skill that has been an absolute pain when in the hands of enemies. The thing about this skill, though, is I still maintain counter is about 1,000 times more useful for enemies than it is for you. Mostly because enemies are far more expendable than you are. If an enemy dies, that's absolutely nothing, because there are plenty more where they came from, and thus the enemies are free to just charge themselves and suicide in your face. Oh yeah, also, cool thing about Gangrel here. Acrobat means that he can cross these forests without any kind of movement penalty, which is really, really useful, actually. I'm not sure I'll be able to get anyone else in there, so... Let's see how well, because I am going to fight the boss here with Gangrel, and Gangrel totally destroys the boss anyway, so don't really care. Yeah, I think it's fine to have Lucina finish this one. And this one isn't a Swordbreaker Wyvern, so that's great.
This is farewell.
Jerome, stop critically. You're making the rest of us look bad.
Thank you.
Not quite level 5 Grandmaster yet, though. Just thinking that Lucina's going to have Rally Spectrum eventually. That's going to be really cool. But seeing as Xanth, it's unlikely, but Xanth can two-shot Gangrel, I'll wait and let him make the first move. Okay, Morgan has Rally Spectrum, so I can do that. Anyone else have any rallies that's free? You don't have any rallies. You don't have any rallies. Okay, that's all I can do here. But I could just stack some very basic supports. So, time to fight the Southern Sea King. And yes, this guy does have a special boss quote against Gangrel.
So close.
Yeah, don't mess with the former Mad King. Sadly, the Levin Sword prevents Gangrel from saying any of his critical quotes, otherwise we'd actually get to see one of them. That's annoying. But anyway, I think Gangrel deserved to do that. Careful, Gangrel, you're on our side now. Try and tone the nastiness down a bit. But we get a large bullion from that. Again, Jerome making the rest of us look bad.
My lord.
That's the last of the pirates. But when we went to just defeat a bunch of pirates, we never expected to gain an ally like this. And see what I said about negligible character development? We don't get any extra dialogue with Gangrel at the end of the chapter at all, so if you want an extra dialogue with Gangrel, support him with an avatar or get DLC. That's sadly the only way you'll see some actual conversations with him. But anyway, with a new ally on our side, one who was a former enemy at that, next time we will continue with the Spot Pass Paralogs and get even more formidable allies for us. So, see you then.